Welcome to Elevating Business Value. On this channel, we will be discussing what a business like yours can do on a day to day operational and strategic basis that will steadily improve and elevate your business's value. My name is Elsa Bretherton, and I'm going to show you how your business can do this by incorporating financial metrics as part of your decisions. We will also be covering other topics such as IP, foreign exchange rates, and other areas of a business that could also elevate your business's value. There will also be interviews that we'll be conducting with professionals across multiple industries as they provide their insight as well as what a business can do. Today's conversation involves the question of how do you determine what financial metric is most important to the business to track your business decision making performance. Everyone talks about a CEO dashboard, but what should even be on it? A CEO dashboard is what provides key critical information that you've determined important. But what is that information? There's so much that's out there. Let me start this conversation with two quotes. The first one is from Forrester Insights, which stated online that over 75% of organizations struggle to define the right success metrics to benchmark the impact of their investment in the business. In a highly acclaimed book entitled Meaningful Interpretation of Financial Statements, The Cause and Effect of Ratio Approach, Donald E. Miller states that financial ratios are not equal in importance. Some represent cause, some represent effect. And even when ratios have not been given equal weight and value, they have seldom been effectively used because no guidelines have been available to indicate what comparative weight and value a particular ratio deserves. So let's make sure we are on the same page with what is a metric and what is a ratio. A ratio and a metric are really one and the same type of term. A ratio is a calculation translated into a percentage. A metric is a measurement of what is happening. And for the context of our conversation, when we're looking at metric and ratios, we're looking at measurements of data points that actually can translate into an understanding of what is happening. So let's give an example. A measurement might be how many hours does it take to produce one widget? And we look and we track those two things. A ratio might be what is the amount of cost associated with this product's revenue? And that would come out into a percentage. So it's really a measurement of action that's being taken or results, and we want to have an understanding of what it means in terms of absorption of resource to produce a certain or obtain a certain result. So these statements on metrics reveal an important consideration for any business. There is a lot here to unpack when you really step back and think about what is being said. Despite the proliferation of financial advice over multiple generations of business, about 2/3 of businesses still struggle with what are the right metrics to measure your business's performance. It's unbelievable as a finance person to hear this, but it speaks to the frustration that businesses have on this issue. Businesses are being told if you want to be profitable, competitively strong, and grow, knowing your financial metrics is key. In fact, so much so, you need to make sure that the CEO has a dashboard. Yet most businesses don't know the how and the when of financial metrics before trying to implement these standards, before they try to track them, before they build their dashboard. The trouble is, and I'll quote again from Miller as I observe this over and over again in my professional career, people either come from the ranks of a salesman or from the ranks of a production personnel. Too few managers have a real comprehensive background in the financial aspects of the business that are so essential to success. They are experts in what brought the business to market. They're experts in either the technology, in the sales, in the service, in the product production, But when it comes to understanding the financial details of the different drivers that are affected or impacted or are needed, that's a piece that has not been the focus of the business. So, for businesses that wish to start incorporating financial metrics, or for those that want to improve what they're doing today, I'm suggesting the following. Right now, there are over 30 commonly known metrics that can be applied to a business. And as businesses get very specific with their own needs, they can even add on more metrics that they want to include, and there are more things that they wish to measure and know about. But what I suggest as we start this process is that we look at metrics and we divide them into two buckets. One bucket or classification is entitled corporate financial management, and the other bucket or classification is entitled operational financial management. The corporate financial management metrics signify your business telling you, the owner, the managers, how all the different functions within the business are working together in the market where the product or service is being sold. The operational financial management metrics address how the teams and the processes that the teams follow are performing internally. This is the front line. This is the internal engine of the business facing the marketplace. So again, the corporate financial management metrics measure how all the teams are working together as a whole with respect to market conditions, with respect to both market competition and economy as a whole. It is here that the goals, the planning, and the strategy decisions are made. So, to illustrate, we'll say that a business has a gross margin currently of 40% for the year, and next year management wants to increase that to 42%. So, gross margin is revenue less the cost of goods that are required to obtain that revenue. And that profit, that gross profit, gross margin is the percentage. So we're going to go from 40% to 42%. It sounds great as a goal, but without an actual plan grounded in financial metrics, the goal is unlikely to succeed. There are multiple influences on what impacts gross margin or gross profit. Of course, the challenge is providing the direction to the employees and teams on what to do and what steps to make. And this is where the operations financial management metrics come into play. They are task-based metrics that can be used to set targets for actionable steps to be taken by various teams and evaluate the progress. This can afford the business over time the ability to fine tune these actionable steps, these tasks taken to be in line with the corporate financial management goal. This sets the priority. And taking this example of improving gross margin by 2%, again going from 40 to 42%, a metric might include reducing product costs by 5%. This is an actionable metric that people in charge of buying can address. Again, there are multiple influences on gross margin. So each team would have their metric designed to help reach the 2% improvement sought at the corporate strategic level. As you go through the year, you can track against this 5% to see whether you've actually been able to reduce those product costs by 5%. And if you have, that's been great. Then you feel comfortable that you'll be achieving the 2% gross margin. But remember, there's a lot of influences. And if the 5% is not being achieved, you can therefore maybe take other action, specific steps in other areas to ensure that you're going to see that 2% gross margin improvement that you had as a corporate strategic goal. So returning to the corporate financial management metrics, we can see that they play an essential role in setting the public face of the business as it presents itself to banks, investors, competitors, buyers, and others that are interested in the health of the business. Operational financial metrics must be aligned internally so that each department can contribute to achieving the corporate strategic goal. I will be holding a class to discuss in more detail how all this works. If you are interested, please let me know in the comments below so that I can send you an invite to register for this class. In this class, not only will we be going through the various matrices as they exist, but we'll also be talking about how we can use them, how they interact with one another, and how they can be used in compliance with setting priority and managed and monitored through your process that you have internally. I look forward to seeing your comments below. In September, we'll have an interview, a topic on intellectual property, so that will be coming up. I look forward to you joining us in that. And in the meantime, continue in elevating business value and wishing you great success. Thank you.